Okay, ready for a deep dive? We're tackling AI in the classroom today.
Oh, wow. Jumping right into it, I see.
You bet. It's a hot topic, right?
Definitely.
We've got all sorts of interesting stuff to dig into today. Excerpts from this new guide for educators looks really fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we've got Ken Peterson's take on things.
He's been around the block a few times when it comes to ed tech.
That he has.
Yeah.
Back when computers were practically dinosaurs themselves, right?
Exactly. It's amazing how far things have come.
So this guide, it's all about this big shift to 21st century learning.
Mm-hmm.
Less stand and deliver, more students at the helm. Have you had a chance to glance through it yet?
I have, and honestly, it's a bit daunting, isn't it? It's not like we're just switching out textbooks for tablets.
Right. It's a whole new ballgame.
It really is about rethinking how we prepare students for, well, for everything. The world's changing so fast.
And that's exactly what this guide seems to be getting at. One thing that stood out to me was their whole thing about a 5-year rollout. They're really emphasizing this PLC approach. Does that ring a bell?
Oh, absolutely. Professional learning communities. It's the idea of educators working together, supporting each other, sharing what works, what doesn't.
So important, especially with something as, well, kind of intimidating as AI.
You can say that again?
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm still wrapping my head around it
Is
all.
that alone?
But it feels like something we need to understand, right?
Absolutely. At its heart, AI is really about using data to make learning more personalized. Imagine a textbook that's like custom tailored to each student.
Okay, now that makes sense. And this guide, they specifically call out Khan Academy and their Khanmigo tool. Seems like they see that as a good starting point for teachers.
Yeah, and Khan Academy already has a good track record, right? Lots
Right.
of teachers and students already use it.
So it's familiar territory, which
Yeah,
helps.
exactly. But with Khanmigo, they're adding this whole AI layer. Like, imagine a student struggling with algebra. Khanmigo can pinpoint their exact issues, give them instant feedback, and even adjust the difficulty on the fly.
So instead of just hitting a wall, they're getting that extra nudge
Exactly.
like that.
It's like having a personal tutor on call 24/7.
Now that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And this ties into something else the guide mentioned, flipped learning.
Ah, yes.
Okay, so dumb question time.
Yeah.
Is that where the students are teaching the class?
Not quite. Although some kids might be all for that.
I bet. So what is it then?
Basically, it flips the script. Instead of lectures during class and homework later, the students engage with the material beforehand, often online.
Okay.
And then classroom time becomes more about active learning, discussions, really digging into the material.
So they come to class prepped and ready to go deeper with the teacher guiding them.
Exactly. It's more engaging for everyone that way. And that's where AI, like this Conmigo thing can really shine. That constant support, feedback, even when school's out.
Frees up the teachers to really, I don't know, do their thing.
Right. It's not about replacing teachers.
Yeah, I was going to say, because some people hear AI and they imagine robots lecturing kids.
It's more like giving teachers superpowers, if you ask me.
I like that. But they got to know how to use these superpowers, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's why this guide, it really hits on professional development.
Hmm.
And not just a one-time thing, but ongoing, keeping up with the tech.
Makes sense because this stuff changes so fast.
Constantly, yeah. Teachers need that space to experiment, share what's working, not just use this tool, but how do we use it effectively?
So it's about like a mindset shift too, right?
Totally.
Not just teachers, but maybe everyone, kind of.
It's easy to get caught up in the fear factor. Robots are taking over.
Right. But this is about using AI to actually make education better.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about Khan Academy, but what else is out there? What other AI tools are people excited about?
Well, there's a ton. AI tutoring systems that adapt to how a kid learns. You've got virtual labs so students can do experiments anywhere.
Wow.
Even AI writing assistants to help kids improve their writing.
Writing assistants. That's interesting. I wonder what Ken would have to say about that.
Right. He's seen how technology's changed things. I bet he's got some thoughts.
For sure. But I do remember him saying, don't get blinded by the shiny new tech. It's always got to be about what are the students actually learning?
He's all about the outcomes.
Mm.
Are these tools making a real difference, or are they just a distraction?
It's about using the tech with a purpose, not just because it's cool.
Exactly. Find that sweet spot where AI makes what teachers do even better, not replace them.
Not another robot teacher.
Right. And that needs a shift, in thinking from educators, from everybody, really. We need to move past this robots are replacing teachers thing.
Embrace the possibilities.
Exactly.
One thing that kind of sticks out to me from all this, they all talk about equity and access.
Mm-hmm.
Like, AI could change everything, sure, but what about those kids without even internet at home? You know, are we leaving them behind?
That's the big question.
It is. And I didn't see many answers, honestly.
Well, the director of technology, in their notes, they do say straight up, lots of their students, unreliable internet, it's a problem.
Okay, but saying it and fixing it, two different things.
Right. And they do have some ideas. Mobile hotspots for families, so kids have internet wherever.
Okay, that's smart, taking it outside the classroom walls.
And partnering up with libraries, community centers, more access that way.
Makes sense. But
Mhm.
still, some kids might not thrive in this whole AI world, right?
Yeah.
Even with the access, not everyone learns the same.
You're absolutely right. And that's key. AI is not one size fits all. Just like any teaching, it's got to be done thoughtfully.
So it's finding that middle ground, the tech and the human touch. Because at the heart of it, isn't education about connecting?
100%.
Inspiring kids, getting them curious? That's not something an algorithm can do, right?
Couldn't agree more. AI can help personalize all that. But that connection, teacher to student, that spark, that's irreplaceable.
That spark, that's what it's all about. That's what makes education more than just, I don't know, memorizing stuff.
It's about giving these kids the tools to think for themselves, solve problems, make the world better, you know.
And knowing all this, seeing where things are headed, it's exciting, isn't it?
Absolutely. This mix of technology, human passion, it's going to be amazing to see where it goes.
And that, I think, is a great place to leave it. We've covered a lot of ground today. AI in the classroom, the good, the bad, the possibilities.
Still a lot to think about.
Definitely. If you take away just one thing from today, let it be this. Stay curious, stay engaged, keep asking the tough questions. The future of education is being shaped right now, and it's up to all of us to make sure it benefits every student no matter what.
Well said.
Thanks for diving in with me today. It's been a great conversation.